Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. This is the afternoon look at our market leading stocks for this coming session. This is going to be for the last day of the month for April. This is going to be for Tuesday, April 30th, 2013. These are our proprietary scans that have their have data streamed real time to them via the Q-Link product from eSignal. So what we're seeing today is we're seeing pretty much a conflict where there's generally light volume in the market, but there are still some volume bumps here left over from the earnings that were released. So we're seeing some follow-on volume in Amazon, Baidu, Biogen. So there's definitely still some volume bumps here. Also seeing some good volume in Clack. Huge volume today in Sina. Sina is really starting to really give it back today. It's only up $5 now. It was much higher before. It's about 8% below the day's open, and it's 4% below the day's VWAP. It's got both a differential and a camouflage sell signal right now. So that one's definitely going to be on my short list for tomorrow. There's a fair amount of signals here on both sides, but they're in conflict. We don't have a bias to the buy side or to the sell side. We're really kind of conflicted here, and that is often signs of the market perhaps getting ready to make at least a short-term turn. So let's be on guard for that. As far as the financials go, again, fairly conflicted here. Morgan Stanley's having a pretty strong day, about 1% above the VWAP and about 3% above the day's open. That's going to be on my list for tomorrow. But unfortunately, all these other stocks that do have signals are all on fairly light volume. The energy names a little bit better for sale. One bright point here is PBR. It's trading up on good volume. It's about 1% above the open, and it does have an upside CPS buy signal. The rest of the stuff is a little bit more biased to the sell side, but again, it is on fairly light volume. Looking at the market generals, kind of looks like the NASDAQ patch. Couple of upside CPS signals: GE, Hewlett Packard, and UNH, but we've got a fair amount of sell signals to kind of mitigate that. Best Buy, 2.5% above the day's open. Also, John Deere looks interesting for tomorrow as well. That's 3.5% above the day's open, more than 1.5 times the typical volume. When you get these volume bumps, especially when you have a signal associated with it, you want to pay attention. We saw that yesterday, Friday rather, in Apple. We had an upside signal in Apple. We had upside CPS buy signal on 1.5 times the typical volume, and we took a long trade in the lab off that and made about 10 points on it, looking for that to get up to that 433 area, and it did just that. So we had a real nice one there. So the CPS upside buy signals or downside signals are very noteworthy when they're on volume. Housing, no signals either way. We do have a volume bump in DHI and Lowe's. As for the transports, they're a little bit better to buy from our small sample that we have here. UNP and UPS both have upside signals. Moving on to the commodity patch, no signals here at all. They did try some higher prices during the day for a lot of these commodity names, but they all kind of came back and filled back in. So they're still kind of bouncing with some oversold energy still in them, but unfortunately we don't have any signals or any volume bumps here to really get into. Don't forget, tomorrow is going to be the last day of the month, which can be a little bit tricky with the micro agendas running through the market. And also, it's the beginning of a 2-day Fed meeting, so trade accordingly. This has been Rich for tradesight. Hope to see you again soon.